Where there is a will, there is a way. Written and illustrated by sixth grade students, Grace Episcopal School, Monroe, Louisiana, Ouachita Parish. During the cold, cold winter of 2001, Antoine Alligator was hatched. Antoine was different from the other alligators because he was born blind. His scale-covered body was as green as grass, and he had very sharp teeth and a tail as strong as a whip. Antoine ate fish, shrimp, and tadpoles, but he especially liked to eat fresh fish. Because Antoine was as blind as a bat, he depended more on his sense of hearing and loved to listen to the sounds of his surroundings. Antoine was well liked because he was honest, obedient, and friendly. Antoine lived in a muddy, algae-filled bayou, surrounded by many moss-covered cypress trees. Some of the old cypress trees looked dead, and the bayou water was as black as a late summer's night. The big fuzzy brown cattails and pretty green lily pads made the bayou more inviting. During the day, the bayou water glistened in the sun, and at night the bayou water was blacker than the night sky, with stars reflecting their light on the water. At noon, Antoine liked to bask in the sun on a large rock that sat on the brown, sandy, cold bayou bank, while the frogs jumped and played on the lily pads in the water. Since Antoine was blind and was unable to hunt for food, his alligator friends brought him his meals every day. One day, they brought him some fish that were the best he had ever eaten because they were so fresh. The other gators were talking about the cool, dark, deep fishing hole where they had caught the tasty fish. At that moment, Antoine decided that he was going to find that fishing hole. As he wobbled down the muddy bayou bank, he passed all of his friends on their way to school. Antoine wished he could go to school, but he knew he would be forever blind and nothing would ever change. Life seemed to be one big obstacle. Just as he stuck his foot into the water, he heard loud thunder and decided it would not be a good day to hunt for the fishing hole. The next day, he got up so early in the morning that the roosters were not even up. The bayou was very calm and quiet, so he wobbled, slid, and flipped his big, rough, dark green body into the bayou water. Then he started to swim, bumping from one side of the bank to the other. Suddenly, he felt something pulling on him, and then he couldn't move. Antoine was stuck. He could feel that he was trapped in a tangle of lily pads. Antoine was so scared his heart started pounding, and he began to cry. Antoine hurled around his large tail, but he could not pull free. Out of nowhere came a voice. "Son, are you okay? You seem a little upset." It was the voice of old Gator. Antoine said, "Well, sir, you see, I'm blind, and I could not see where I was going, and now I'm stuck. My mother is going to be mad because I'm not allowed to go this far into the bayou without someone's help." Old Gator calmly replied, "Let me help you out of there and take you to a school just for blind gators. There they will teach you to read and also how to find your way around. You see, I am partially blind, and I have been to this school. What I learned there really helped me a lot." Old Gator fished Antoine out of the lily pads and swam him to the Gator School for the Blind. Once there, Antoine learned to read rock braille and use a cattail as his blind swimming stick. When he graduated, he was assigned a seeing eye garfish named Gary. Antoine immediately asked Gary to lead him to the fishing hole that he had been searching for. Gary Garfish quickly swam him to the old fishing hole. Antoine dove down into the deep blue water that was as cool as a spring breeze. He opened his mouth for a big gulp of water, and a huge bass fish swam right into his mouth. He came up out of the water and ate the bass in one big bite. As Antoine floated and relaxed in the cool, refreshing water, with a big smile on his face, he realized that being blind was no longer an obstacle. His life was awesome. Antoine roared out, "Where there's a will, there's a way." The end.